Every single damn time, every single mother trucking time that I bring up tatemae and honne culture in Japan, and I talk about how difficult it is to understand it. Basically, tatemae is like the front, like the politeness that you put up in public, in society, for people. And honne is like your real thoughts. So like basically you would say something that you don't really mean, like maybe somebody asks you to do something that you don't really want to do, and in Japan they would say like, kangaete okimasu, which means like, I'll think about it, but like truthfully you're not going to think about it at all. And I've talked about many times in my videos how that is one of the most difficult parts about living in Japan. It's like you never really know, at least if you're from the West, what people really think, or at least until you get very close to these people and you actually understand them on a deeper level. But you know, that's quite a difficult task, especially if you're not fluent in the language, especially if you're from somewhere that's as different as the United States of America. But it's always funny because every single time that I post these videos where I talk about that, there's always somebody who's like, dude, in America they don't say 100% of their true feelings to your face. In America they do that too. What are you talking about? And it's just, it's so frustrating, because if you haven't actually lived in Japan, and like some people even like, they will say, dude, I did live in Japan, and like it's like, okay, you're the dude who worked at the English speaking school and you had all foreign friends, and even your Japanese friends had lived abroad and they were very Americanized. You know, they had a very diverse friend group. They spoke fluent English. I mean, that's just not the same as someone actually living in Japan, interacting with Japanese people, maybe working at a Japanese workplace. So it's always funny when people tell me like, dude, in America they have honne and tatemae too. What are you talking about? People act like this is just a Japan thing. And I'm like, yeah, you are kind of right, because in America, like, you know, if somebody invites you to hang out with them and you don't really want to hang out with them, you're not gonna be like, fuck no, dude. Bro, you fat as fuck and annoying, bro. And every time you eat, you make that sound where you be like, you make that slurping sound when you eat and shit, and you're always snorting your boogers up, and you're just like fucking annoying to be around, and I don't want to be around you. Like, you don't say that, of course, right? But in Japan, it's even different. There's a scale to everything, right? So like maybe all the way on this side would be like Germany. I don't know too much about Germany, but I've heard from some people that Germany is like very direct, very honest. People like don't do these like niceties and formalities at all. They just tell you straight up how they feel. And maybe Germany would be all the way on this side, and maybe Japan would be all the way on this side in terms of like beating around the bush, sugarcoating things, trying to say things in a nice way that isn't really true, but maybe spares people's feelings a little bit. And you're supposed to basically see through the words, read between the lines, read the air. If you're in Japan, that would be on this side. And then maybe America's more like in the middle, because we definitely do, maybe compared to like Germany or I don't know, like Russia or something like that, we do these things where we kind of like beat around the bush and sugarcoat a lot of things in America as well. But I guess like a few examples of just to show you like how different it would be in America versus Japan is something as basic as asking a girl if she wants to go out with you, or asking a girl if you can get her number or something like that. Like in America, like a polite way for a girl to reject you would be like, oh, I'm sorry, I have plans this week. And then they just don't follow up and say, hey, how about next week or something like that. Or they would say like, oh, you know what, let me think about it, like maybe my schedule will open up. And then you're like, okay, so it means basically what she's saying is like, fuck no, I have no interest in you, get as far away from me as possible. In Japan, if you ask a girl out, like most of the time you ask a girl out, you be nice about it, and you come up and you say like, hey, I really like you, I want to take you on a date. A girl will be like, tashiso, ikitai, line 交換しよう, Insta 交換しよう. Like, let's exchange lines, let's exchange Instagram, let's go. And then you're like, oh, sick, like I got this date, and you're hyped for like the rest of the day. And then you get home and you pull up your Instagram or you pull up your line to actually send her a message, and you realize she's blocked you on there. That would be like a difference of like inviting a girl out on a date, confessing to some girl that you like in Japan versus in America. Another thing would be like, maybe you make a friend at a party. Like in America, you make a friend and they don't really want to hang out with you. It's kind of like the same thing if it's just like a guy friend. Yo, dude, like let's hang out sometime. Like, yeah, for sure, bro. Like, let's do it. And you know, like that's about as far as it goes, maybe. Or they're like, oh, dude, you know, I'm really busy with work, but like, yeah, that would be fun sometime. Yeah, like we can talk about it for sure. in Japan, I remember specifically this time when I first got here. I didn't understand this country at all. I was at this party and I met this dude, and I was trying to practice my Japanese at the time. So I was like trying to talk to this one Japanese dude at the party, and he clearly didn't give a fuck about me looking back, and I was probably annoying him as well. But I remember I kept like trying to talk to him and be his friend and shit. And I was like, let's hang out sometime. And looking back, like I was definitely like annoying the fuck out of this dude. But I remember I invited him. I was like, hey, we should go out and like go to a bar, and like I want to work on my Japanese more and shit like that, which is kind of stupid too, because of the, hey, like I want to use you for Japanese practice. But I mean, I didn't know any better. I was just like I said, I was such a dumbass at that time. So anyways, he was like, 楽しそう。めっちゃ楽しそう。行きたい。一緒に行こうね。飲みに行こう。And then like he offered his line to exchange it with me. I exchanged lines with him. And then like even like the rest of the night he was talking about like, oh, we're gonna go out together and like we're gonna get into some stuff. And then like I remember when I left, he was talking to his girlfriend who was like standing next to him, and I was saying goodbye to them at the party. He purposely said this loud enough so like I could see it, and he was like looking at me. He's like, 楽しみ。ジミと遊ぶのが楽しみ。本当に楽しそう。And he was like, oh, like it sounds fun to go out with Jimmy. I'm excited to go out and hang out with Jimmy. Like we're gonna have a good time. And I was like, sick. Like I made a cool ass friend. And I remember I was like, you know, I was on cloud nine. I was hype leaving that party. And then I messaged him. I think it was the next day. I sent him a message online. This dude never got back to me. Never responded to me ever once. And now it's been like, whatever, 3 years since then. And I haven't heard from the guy since. And, you know, like I said, in America, someone might just be like, yeah, we should do that sometime. Yeah. And you kind of like get the vibe that, okay, they're not really interested. Or another example would be like the Nihongo jouzu desu ne, which means like your Japanese is so good. Japanese people always say, even if you say like the most basic thing, you just say like arigato. Like someone at a restaurant like gives you your food or whatever, and then you're like, oh, arigato. And they're like, Nihongo jouzu desu. And they always do this clap. It's hilarious because, hold on, I'm gonna put my phone down for a second so you can see this. Dude, the way that Japanese people clap is the most Japanese thing about Japan. It's so fucking funny, dude. You know, like, because how do people clap, like, in the States? Like, here, I'll show you. In the States, someone might clap like this. They might just be like, you know, kind of casual. You're just like this. This is how Japanese people clap. It's so fucking funny. It's the most Japanese thing about Japan is the way that Japanese people clap. I fucking love it. But they, whenever they say Nihongo jouzu desu ne, they always do this clap. Oh, Nihongo jouzu desu. It's hilarious. But like in the States, if someone comes and, you know, they just say like to you, like even if you know like they're not a native speaker of English, and they just say like, thank you. Like, when have you ever heard an American person say like, whoa, oh my gosh, your English is so good. I've never heard that in my life. I mean, if somebody goes on and like, you know, they just came from Mexico or something and English isn't their first language, but then they give you an entire monologue on economics or first principles, philosophy, something like that. I mean, then you might be like, holy shit, your English is good, wow. And maybe even clap or something like that. But if someone's just like, thank you, you're not gonna be like, wow, your English is so good. But in Japan, like, you say literally one word and they're like, ah, Nihongo jouzu desu. And of course, they don't actually mean that, like, your Japanese is that good. It's just something, it's just polite. It's just politeness. It's just how they do things here. It's just the culture. It's just a formality, basically. It's just a nicety of living in Japan. So, I mean, it does feel good, kind of. It does feel good when you first get here and someone's like, oh, you know, they're trying to be nice. They're trying to do something nice for you. And sometimes like, man, that was really cool. This person would hype me up, man. They said I had good Japanese, so now I want to learn even more. That's, it's always just funny, like seeing the cultural differences. And I just want to reiterate, man, anyone who's going to like say, you know, because I always make comments about like, generally speaking, Japan is like this. And then someone's like, I've seen someone that did that in America one time. The outliers don't disprove the rule. The rarities, the oddities, don't disprove the trend. I mean, you have to look at the entire demographic. And of course, this doesn't come down to the individual saying like, okay, so every individual is going to be like this. You can't judge an individual based on the entire trend. But when you think about it, okay, like generally speaking, Japan is going to be like this. This is how things generally tend to go here. Yeah, I mean, there are differences in cultures, and anyone who would deny that, like, isn't someone I even have any interest in talking with. Because, you know, like sometimes I'll say, I don't know, like in general, you know, like Japanese women play these games or whatever, and then people will be like, dude, what the fuck? In America they play games too. What are you talking about? And I'm convinced it's just like weebs or like people who want to cope super bad because maybe they have a dream that they want to live in Japan and they want to be Japanese, and Japan is this wonderful playland of anime and weird like manga girls who look underage but have giant titties, and they want to believe that it's the most perfect place in the world because they want to live here for the rest of their life, and they don't want to accept that maybe it's not perfect or it's a little bit different, or maybe it might be a little bit difficult to adjust to life here. So I think it's just a lot of cope is what it is. But regardless, I'm gonna keep telling the truth. If you guys enjoy my videos, I appreciate it. Thank you guys. If you guys want me to talk about something, send me an email, youngjamesYT@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram, send me a message on Instagram. I can talk about whatever kind of video topic you want me to talk about. If you guys want to support the channel, hit me up, guys. Send a donation. The link is in the description, please, man. I'm trying to save money to go home for Christmas this year, man. Hit me up. Link is in the description. Donate to my Ko-fi. If you guys donate $5, you get a link to my Discord. All right, guys. Peace out. Take care.